Kingsgate family. This is Mrs. Shanae Nicholson, and I am here with my husband, Mr. Keith Nicholson, and we are going to help explain how to get OneNote working on the Teams if you have a Chromebook. Some of our students are working on Chromebooks. Some have been checked out from Kingsgate, and so they have them. And so a little bit of the way things look on Team is different with Chromebook. So Mr. Nicholson is going to step us through. What you will probably want to do is watch this video on one device, so maybe a parent's phone or another computer or tablet while you set up your Chromebook. Okay?
Thank you, Mrs. Nicholson. May I call you that?
Absolutely.
All right. So remember, if you will, just briefly, Chromebooks are not quite a full laptop. They do a lot of things that laptops do, but they're not like a MacBook or a Windows device, which has a full operating system. Really what it is just a browser running on bare bones stuff to let you do the work. So applications that might run even on an Android device, like a Samsung device, may not run as well on a Chromebook. So what we've had to do is just do a few different things. So what we've done is we've created an individual named Charles Nicholson. Charlie Nicholson. And we got him logged into his Chromebook. And I want to show you what you're seeing with Teams. When you click on the Teams icon at the bottom, it'll come in, it'll load up into your group, and you got chat messages in here and all. But if you go to your team, you're going to have your class, your 5th grade or 6th grade or 2nd grade, whatever team. In this case, we've created one called Higher Ed, for those of you who want to go to college someday. And you'll click on the General, and you will see a list of tabs across: Post, Files, and More. And if you click on the More, you'll then see where you're looking at for your assignments already. And you've probably seen this class notebook, and this is where the problem has been. If we click on the class notebook, essentially what we end up getting is this little spinny going on right here. And then it tries to open up OneNote, the app from Google Play, but it can't do it because it cannot run on this device. You'll see right here it says your device is compatible with this version. So what we've done is we'll just go ahead and close that Google Play window, and you'll see that it's just a blank window right here. So what we're going to ask you to do is, on a Chromebook, not to open up your class notebook this way. The way you're going to do it is use the application that it's trying to open up from Microsoft called OneNote. And we've added an additional icon down here in your launch tray called OneNote Online. And it's really not the app, but it's going to open up a browser version of OneNote onto your computer. And you'll see it is opening up the browser, and it's OneNote.com, and it's got a lot of other things. And it's trying to go ahead and it wants to sign you in. So your sign in here is your sign in for your Office 365 account. And we've gone ahead and have created one called C. Nicholson. I'm not in that quite right.
So what you will need to do, students, is ask your parents, like this would be your Microsoft. So some of you have a Google account, which is like at kgcschool.com, and that's what you use to get into your Chromebook. And then once you're in it, you have a different email that is for your Microsoft, and this is the Microsoft login. To set up OneNote, you will only do it this one time, and then it will open up for you.
All right, and we'll click next, and we get that secret special password, right? And we're going to put that in. I'm not going to tell you what it is because you shouldn't ever tell anybody what your secret password is.
So this might be where you need your parents if you can't remember it.
And we'll click sign in. And you'll see that I got it incorrectly. So it came back. So obviously I what they call fat-fingered.
And that sometimes you just chose the wrong key, misspelled something.
And I'm typing at an angle, so it makes it hard.
I'm in his way with my phone filming.
click the sign in again, and we see that it worked. Now this is really important. Mrs. Nicholson just said that you won't ever have to do that again if you follow these steps. You're going to click this, do not show this to me again, but you want to click yes, because you want to be able to stay signed in. But before you do this, before you click this yes, you probably will get this come up here. This is the Chrome browser trying to help keep your password safe and secure as well, but so that you don't have to memorize it. So go ahead and click save. That will help you also. So doing both of these will protect you and give you a secure access. So then we'll click yes. And then this is going to take a little bit of time. When you're accessing OneNote online, it takes just a little bit of time maybe to show your notebook. And this went actually pretty quick. And we can see that there's this Charlie at School. This is like your personal private notebook that you can use. But then you want to get to your class notebook. And if we click on here, we're going to see the higher ed notebook. And when we click on this,
yeah, and students, yours will say your grade level. So if you're 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, that's what it will say.
This is going to spend a little time populating it, bringing it back up. And the first time you go through, it's going to want to educate you about how to use OneNote. And you're going to go ahead and accept this privacy option. And it's going to pop up a couple little items throughout the screen, educating you about how to use it. And here we are. We now have access to Charlie's class information and all his handouts. And in here, you'll also, in your class, you'll probably find a class schedule tab that you'll be able to use. Now, real quick, I just want to show to you, we're going to close this out. And we're going to come back down here to the bottom and click the OneNote one more time. And because we went ahead and we chose those options with the security and all, notice it's coming right back up to the notebooks. It's not asking me to log in and provide a password. And it's going to spend just a moment making sure, which notebooks you have. And you can kind of see that it's working. If Mrs. Nicholson will zoom in right here, you'll see that little spinny, that blue spinny going on right there underneath my finger, telling you that it is loading the stuff down from the cloud, the internet. And this may take a moment or two.
This particular notebook does not have the tab on it that says class schedule. We will show you kind of where yours is. It's about the second tab down. And then Mr. Nicholson is going to show you how to add it to your favorites so that you can get to it very quickly. This little part takes a while because there's a lot of information that it's trying to sync up and make sure that you have. It won't do it every time. It does it the first time and then each time after. So this is a great thing to do. I'm going to send this is Friday, email out. So hopefully you guys can do this over the weekend before you start school back on Monday.
And of course, this might be a great time to go grab a small book and read, or find a good educational video that people are giving you access to. You might want to, not watch too much regular TV at this point because it's education time. And I'll be honest, this one's taking a little bit longer than the other times we've seen, so who knows what's going on.
Man. I want to play the Jeopardy music.
Shall we do it together?
No.
Do 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 do. Ah! There it is. All you have to do is sing.
Yeah.
Anytime your computer goes slow, just sing. It helps it all the time. So here it is. It's showing now in your higher ed notebook. And we click on this. And it's going to open up your notebook, just like we kind of saw earlier. Mrs. Nicholson's going to tell you where that schedule is. Then I'm going to show you something else.
It's between the welcome and the collaboration space. And you will see, it'll say, I believe, daily schedule. So that's where you will click on one of those. Kind of like if you were to click on And I just didn't set this one up, folks. And then over on this second column is where your teachers are either doing a daily schedule or a weekly schedule. So you will click on that, and then it's a really easy checklist of what you need to do for that day. So that's where they are in the classrooms.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click back up here on the higher ed notebook there in what they call the breadcrumb. And actually, we didn't need to do that. We're going to click back. We don't need to go into that part of it. Sorry, ignore that part. Let it come back up here and let it repopulate. We'll click back on the welcome. There we go. And then what I'm going to have you do is, if you take a look, if you've never done bookmarks in your browser before, over here to the right, there's a star. You know how when you were younger, how you used to love getting stars on stuff? Well, you get to give a star now. And you're going to bookmark this tab. And what you're going to do is go ahead and it'll say your grade level, your first or fourth grade or sixth grade, and let it go into your bookmarks bar. Okay, there's other options here, but let's go with the bookmarks bar. And then you're going to click done, and you're going to see this nice blue star. But how do you get access to it? Well, you're going to run over here to the right. Back over here to the right, Mrs. Nicholson.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Okay.
There's this little kind of like a tree of dots and ellipse. And we're going to click on that. And we're going to come down here to bookmarks. And we're going to say show bookmarks bar. Okay. Now, for those of you who like to use your keyboard and you know how to use it, you can do Control-Shift-B. And then what that's going to do is, notice now, Mrs. Nicholson, pull back over to the left. You're going to see this new bookmarks bar going across, including your higher ed notebook. So right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this out. Okay. And so you can go into the OneNote online down here in the bottom, just like we've done before. You can also go over here to the left to the Chrome. And when you click on the Chrome, notice it's going to come back up to the normal Google search screen. And you've got that bookmark bar right here. And it's the higher ed notebook. And so when we click on the higher ed notebook, this time it's not going to spend the time trying to see what other notebooks you have. It's just going to open up your classroom's notebook super fast, super quick, so that you can do some work. Mrs. Nicholson, have I done well?
You've done great. Thank you for your help. So everyone, I hope that helps. If you struggle following these steps and have trouble in your team's classroom on your general chat, you can just do an @Shanae Nicholson and send me a message that asks me to help you, or send me a chat and a time that is good for me, and I can call your moms and dads and help step this through. But that's going to be a really easy way for you all to see your daily schedule. And it should also help with some other things that we have. Anyway, I hope that helps. And thanks so much. Bye.